Hello everyone, I'm back and I'm going to load this. Yeah, I just had a bit of a little break, stretch, actually stand up for a bit, go to the bathroom, that stuff. Like sitting around all the time isn't good for your health. And lately I have been working out and stuff and trying to not sit down that much. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard for me to sit down for like more than 2 hours, so I'm like, eh. So, alright. Yeah. Excuse me. Katawa Shoujo. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them supporting the tired eyes of the people who worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Mutuo lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partially be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nekai, can I speak with you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mutuo approaching my desk. Sure, what is this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Mutuo stands in the hallway scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. So it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. All right, I get it. I'm sorry. Mutuo closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put a lot of time, effort, and money that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it is some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Mutuo appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mutuo taps his shin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, we've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week, there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend they were working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto didn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to his near silence that Muto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest, or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks. The remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood of the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako. Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished, and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students, frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right, hurrying as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. Feeling the opposite, I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I'd do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hazao. Splatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, while her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Nothing really. I don't have anything important to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect, you can help me in Rin. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine. I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrists and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs. Maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor, and to the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could have just well stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So is Rin working on the mural still? That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art room. And you need me to help with that? Well, Rin told me you already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. Thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, I am here again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty, apart from ourselves and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. Where she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in a most organized fashion. Some look like they've been left here for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different-sized brushes and unsorted crayons. The smells of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings of various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can see them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably, and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I can see why lending a hand here would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough. I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. I'm also like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flailing scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time. but I can't come up with a retort. With a grudging she turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint a while below. Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little, after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has her weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk, like a treasure hunter's spoils, I do realize that it wasn't necessarily the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like to be told that she can't do something, like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten about that already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she shatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items and make our way back to Rin. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials until we make our way towards the dormitories. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in a fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. Yeah. Now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak. Emmy giggles at that, as well as my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it, she's just a little weird sometimes. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with Rin's whatever it is that feels off about her. Still, they don't feel close like Misha and Shizune do, with them working as a single entity sometimes. It's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all. Different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person? I return to that word again, as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself. But really, it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp about for a properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier, she just spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken over even more of the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, and orange. Weird imagery, things populating the spaces between. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that would describe the work concisely and comprehensively, so I'll settle on the nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems like that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is at the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy, as if she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs, which sport a drying spectrum of war paintings, similar to those on Emmy's face. Emmy sprints to Rin ahead of me, and gleefully jumps in front of her. I'm back! That was fast. Did you run in the corridors again? Cause that'll help me. Emmy points victoriously at me. Rin turns around, following Emmy's finger with her eyes, looking at my general direction. She nods absent-mindedly at me. She looks like she hasn't slept since last night. A vacant, glazed stare that's focused slightly off me, and movements like in a slow-motion movie. Hello, Hazao. Thank you for the help. Don't mention it. I just did. Never mind. Looks like you made progress. Looking good as far as I can tell. But now you get more bad luck. I know, I'm willing to take the risk. That's a very nice thing to say. For me. Of course, not for you. This is why artists are always unlucky. They have to constantly look at their unfinished paintings. So artists can't find romance, their favorite TV shows are cancelled, or they die young because of an unspecified disease. It's a deep and mysterious law of the universe. Unless they are blind. She considers this for a while, looking like she's going to fall asleep. There is a boy. At the art club you see, blind boy, so he doesn't see. You already told me. I glance sideways at Emmy, and she glances back in a way that tells me she's heard me this one before. Neither of us says anything to Rin, though, so she continues her monotone soliloquy like an unfunny stand-up comedian. He should become an artist. No bad luck guaranteed. Do you think that would be a good idea? That only blind people should become artists? No, not as such. You might have a point. Abandoning this train of thought, she turns again to consider her work and starts humming a tune that I think I recognize, but can't remember the name of. Emmy arranges the supplies we brought and moves a few paint cans around, trying to bring some organization to the scene. Emmy, I need the Prussian blue paint. Which one's Prussian blue? She's staring helplessly at 7 or 8 cans, each with a different tone of blue. It's the one with the Prussian blue paint in it. Geez, Ren, you're not helping at all. I look around as well, even though I don't know what Prussian blue looks like either. I wonder what blue has to do with Prussia. Or what Prussia is. The name sounds very vaguely familiar, but I can't place it. While none of the blues looks more Prussian than the others, the small print on the labels is legible enough to determine that none say anything about the contents of being Prussian. Excuse me. There's no Prussian blue here. We need to get more then. I open my mouth to say that actually, we're not both needed for a simple task like finding another pot of Prussian blue, but Emmy's already grabbed my arm and started dragging me off. I wave to Rin, who doesn't seem to have noticed that the two of us are even leaving. Well, she'll notice when she goes for her Prussian blue and finds it's still not there. Maybe. Probably not, actually. While I'm busy thinking of how weird Ren is, Emmy's been dragging me back to the art classroom. I feel myself starting to run out of breath. What's the rush? Huh? Emmy's giving me an appraising look, as if she's trying to figure something out. It's just that you seem to be in a hurry. I'm not sure I can keep up. Comprehension dawns on her face. You're not out of breath, are you? There's almost an accusing playfulness to her tone. I'm tempted to deny it, but then I realize that I've been breathing heavily since we stopped. I guess it's kind of obvious. A little. Not everyone can be in shape, you know? Takes all kinds, right? Emmy frowns. It's not a particularly good frown. That is... I should get in shape. Not that I already decided to try for that. After that flutter on the track, I figured there's a real need to get in some sort of running habit. I was, after all, feeling pretty good until I had my false alarm. Well, actually, I wasn't? but it was fun. Meanwhile, my comment seems to have helped Emmy come to some sort of decision. Well, that's it then. She gives me a serious look. Serious, serial look. Sorry, I was checking something on my phone real quick. Alright, yeah. Alright, I'm back. You're joining me. I beg your pardon? In the mornings. You and I are now running partners. I've got a routine all planned out, in fact. She produces a crumpled sheet of paper. I've got it right here with me. I take the sheet of paper and give it a once-over. Times, dates, and laps all laid out. A slow increase from just a few laps a day to, my god, does she expect me to be running marathons? And where does she find the time to get this all together? And how long has she been planning this anyway? You've been planning this? A little. But it's really the nurse's idea. He told me to keep an eye on you and make sure you exercise like he told you to. A vast conspiracy. Maybe Kenji's onto something here. That seems a bit too much for keeping an eye on me. Well, to be honest, I've been trying to find a running partner in the mornings for a while now. My god, Kenji, if you could only see the scheme unfolding. What do you need a partner for anyway? It's easier to keep a workout if you're not the only one doing it. Isn't that obvious? You're less likely to quit if someone else is counting on you to be there, right? I see. And this won't only keep you running, but it'll make sure that I keep running as well? Meaning that I'll be obeying the nurse. And keeping an eye on you just like he asked. You caught on quick as out. And if I refuse? I have no intention of refusing, of course. But I've got to at least put up a token resistance to such a masterfully executed plan. Well, if you refuse, I'd have to pout. And you'd have to live with being the guy that made Emi Ibaraki pout. You don't want that on your conscience, do you? As if to demonstrate, Emi begins pouting. It is the most adorable, heart-wrenching thing I've ever seen. I wouldn't go that far, dude, but okay. Okay, I'll do it. Just don't do that. I feel like it just hit a puppy. So it's settled, right? You're gonna be my running partner? Follow the workout? And the dietary plan? Dietary plan? Yeah, the dietary plan. You gotta eat healthy if you're gonna get in shape, you know. I examined the workout routine closely. I don't see a dietary plan on here. Alright, I forgot to give that to you. Another crumpled piece of sheet of paper is produced and handed over. It's somewhat less detailed. I had the nurse help me come up with it. The amount of dedication that the nurse has to keeping me in good health is pretty overwhelming. I don't know many school nurses who would just get one of their students to spy on me, much less help come up with a dietary plan. Then again, I guess I'm not in a normal school. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Then again, this dietary plan seems to cut out just about everything that'll be offered at the festival tomorrow. So when does our running start? After the festival? Right after? What if I've had something to eat there? I could get a stomachache, you know? I meant the day after the festival. I knew that. Wasn't there something we were supposed to be doing? Oh, I guess we should get that paint for Ren, huh? Oh no, it slipped my mind. By the time we get at the paint and get back to the mural, Ren's already wandered off. Oh well. Emmy and I both decides to part ways there, leaving the paint on the ground. Ren will find it. Whenever she comes back, anyway. Festival's tomorrow, and I'm actually a little excited for it. At the same time, the week's left me feeling pretty tired, so I read a little, and then go to bed. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's a Sunday and there are no classes. It's not just a Sunday though, but the festival as well. From my window, I can already see some people at the soba booth, slinging noodles on the plate for people with a craving for low-quality food. I throw back a handful of my morning meds and ponder how to spend the day. There will be a few exams in the coming week, but I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not as worried about them as I probably should be. With no urgent obligations regarding education, I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Finishing my morning routine, I exit into the hallway, intending to go out and find something to eat. Passing by his door, I decide to see what Kenji's up to today out of impulse. Curious if he has any plans, since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room. Or possibly something like a fort, complete with a "No Girls Allowed" sign, and with girls crossed out and body crudely scrawled underneath it. Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling clicking of at least 10 locks being pulled back, and the door opens up a crack. Are you telling me Kenji has 10 locks on his door? How the fuck? Who is it? You're supposed to ask that before you open the door. Oh, it's you. Damn, it's early. It's not that early. What is it, man? Nothing. I was just gonna ask what are you gonna do today. Half the school is out there already. Out there? Why? What? What? Is today special? Why are they there? Who are... I can hear them. It's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun? He suddenly looks more alarmed. What day is it, man? Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booths outside and people selling stuff. What the hell are you talking about? I have my curtains closed at all times to thwart the snipers. It's the festival, you know that, right? Oh shit, that's today? Ah, damn. Damn it! I can't believe I forgot. I don't have my fort finished yet. This is bad. This is gonna be a very bad day. It's good you told me this, man. This is going to be a bad day. Why? Oh man, they're going to be everywhere. The people outside my window socializing. Kenji rubs his temples nervously while suddenly looking very ill. It's going to be loud as hell. Damn, I was going to go out today, but now it's ruined. Everything is ruined. This is awful. This sucks. This sucks. What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run. Kenji seems nervous. You could even say he's majorly freaking out. I can't believe this. So that's what today was. Damn. And I couldn't even prepare for it. I couldn't even brace myself. And now it's here? And I can't do anything? You should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least I know. But I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished. Sorry, I thought you knew. So I guess you're not going to be doing anything today. Wait. I just remembered something. Did I mess up? The weather is even good. Yesterday was really windy, so I thought today would be cold. It's not, though. There's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should check the festival out. Kenji groans and covers his face with his hands. Look, with all this focus on Kenji right now, I'm thinking I might have accidentally went down a particular route. And oh, this is gonna be funny if it is true that like this is the first one that I got. through this recording, it's gonna be fucking funny. It's gonna be funny, man. No, I can't do it. They'll eat me alive out there. I know it. That has to be a joke. But he said it with such a straight face. Relatively straight. What are you going to do? We should hang out in here. You can help me build my fort. We might be able to make it if we stick together, if we work together. I wonder. I'm kinda hungry, but I made this deal that I'd try to take better care of myself. Be healthier, you know? I don't know if I should steer clear of the takoyaki or head straight in. Deal? Sounds ominous. So what are you getting in return? Nothing, I guess. It's not that kind of deal. You know Emmy from our year? We kinda agreed to watch each other's backs and... The shrill scream and the expression of abject terror in Kenji's face chill my blood. As if I told a Catholic priest I sold my soul to the devil. Huh? You sold your soul to the devil, and you didn't get anything in return? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Do you know who you're dealing with? She's a public health danger. Do you know how many people she sends to the hospital monthly with her carefully placed flying tackles? This is great. She's one of them, a key player in the vast conspiracy that aims for the complete subjugation of everything that is manly. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I trusted in your judgment, man. I thought we were brothers. You have to call it off before it's too late. The festival, too, is just one of their ploys. Actually, thinking on it, I think I am on a route I wanted to get, but, you know. He fingers his scarf nervously, faster and faster, like he's trying to start a fire, and then slowly begins to calm down once the panic finishes running its course. I'm going to have to find some place to hide in, a safe haven, and then knock the lights out of myself so I don't have to experience this horrible day. I have the perfect thing for that. I must prepare now. Don't go to the festival. Okay? Later, dude. The door slowly closes with a low creak, and I don't know how to feel about what Kenji just said. It's kind of unsettling, but now I start feeling doubtful myself. Should I bother going? I've got a book I've been meaning to read. Something about an underground postal system that may or may not exist. It's short too. I could have finished it in a day. But would that be a good way to spend my time? Well, yeah, it definitely would be. But I suppose it's probably a better idea to head outside. See the festival. Try to integrate with all the other sideshow acts. Honestly, I should at least make an attempt to keep up with the somewhat friendly personality I've had the past week. Maybe get something to eat, my stomach suggests. It's almost lunchtime. I could at least grab something from one of the stalls outside. As soon as I'm outside, I'm surrounded by various students and people who may or may not be their parents. Every so often, I catch a glimpse of someone who clearly just came up from town or for the promise of a festival. They're easy to spot. The ones who can't stop staring behind their eyes, you can tell they're thinking, now what's wrong with this one? I almost want to yell at them. But at the same time, I can't deny that I've been doing the same thing. Can I deny that I've been doing the same thing all week? A wave of something like disgust sweeps over me. Guilt for my own narrow-mindedness. I push the thoughts aside, concentrating on the pangs of hunger that burn my guts like wildfire. The scent of something fried leads me to the promised land, where I can get some lunch. I'm just eating my order when a loud voice interrupts me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Having lunch? Breakfast? You mean you just got up? Suddenly sleeping all morning feels like a crime. No, I meant lunch, honest. She's not buying it. Brunch? It's not a healthy breakfast at all. She snatches my food out of my hand and glares at me. What the hell is this girl doing? Hey, that's my breakfast. What happened to it being your lunch? That's whatever, it's my food. She places her hands on her hips and begins lecturing me. Did you really forget about your dietary plan already? You need to be more conscious of your health, Azao. What about your heart? My heart's fine the way it is, mostly. All I get in response is a roll of the eyes. I doubt that. You wouldn't be here if that was the case, would you? The girl's got a point, of course. But I'm not about to concede it. It's not that bad of a heart. Certainly it can handle a little grease now and again. Yeah, sure. And it handled a little running just fine, too. Emmy seems unconvinced. Not surprising, as I haven't even managed to convince myself. Maybe. But not if you're sleeping the day away all the time. A devious look suddenly crosses her face. Of course, if you've been following a routine from the beginning, you wouldn't be in this situation. Hey, I've had a plenty eventful week, you know. For example, I almost died, and there was a lot of meeting people, and then I was on a roof for a while, which is no excuse for slacking off, you know. A little near-death experience is no excuse for skipping basic exercise. Like running in the mornings. She nods, as if something important has just been decided. So it's settled then. You've seen the error of your ways, and are willing to adhere to my routine, right? I'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll be running buddies. You know, you'd already convinced me yesterday that this was a good idea. You don't need to convince me again. Not that I did a good job of being convinced. She's right about being healthy after all. And here I am ordering something grossly unhealthy. But delicious. There are more important things than deliciousness, aren't there? Like staying alive. If Emmy weren't here browbeating me for my poor decisions, I'd probably... Hey, wait a second. A sudden question springs to mind. Hey, why the hell have you taken such an interest in my well-being? Emmy shrugs and grins at me. You're the new guy. I figure you don't have any friends yet, right? Besides, I've caused you trouble all week, right? I owe you for not getting angry. And I told the nurse I would anyway. Huh? Crazy little running girl wants to make me healthy? Well, I suppose there are worse fates. Okay, that sounds... fine. What the... I think I skipped something, hold on. Thanks for your concern. Tomorrow morning, then? Okay, that's weird. I figured that ends the conversation, so I turned to leave. Not so fast! I feel I feel a hand on my collar, and in a second I've been yanked backwards. Hey, no need to be so rough. What do you want now? Emmy looks almost wounded by my annoyed question. Thought you could use the company. Her eyes narrow. Besides, you were going to try sneaking some more of that fried crap, weren't you? Well, I wasn't going to, but now that she mentions it, it would have been a really good idea. I was not. Another glare. Okay, maybe I was going to get a little. The glare continues. Okay, a lot. Jesus. I'm a danger to myself and others, aren't I? I get done agreeing that I need to be healthier, and then immediately start considering the next unhealthy habit that comes my way. I knew it. You can't be trusted. No, I definitely have to stick with you. This whole situation feels silly. I can only imagine what passerbys think of the sight of me being lectured by a girl half my size. Maybe I should just give up for now. Fine, do what you like. I sigh. Might as well make the best of this. What do you want to do? Emmy thinks for a minute. Well, I promised Rin I'd stop by her mural. Let's do that. I confess I'm slightly more curious as to how her mural turned out myself, so again, I consider there are worse fates. I give a nod of assent and find myself almost dragged bodily through the crowd as Emmy races to our destination. At the same time we reach the doors, I can feel my heart pounding. My heart shouldn't be pounding after just that. I take a few deep breaths, willing myself to calm down. I'm one of the most normal-looking people in the school, but I still have to be here. Sometimes I almost wish I'd lost a hand or something. At least then it'd be obvious that I belong. But instead, I don't even look sick. Even now, trying to catch my breath, I just look out of shape. Emmy looks back and notices my state of distress. You're not going to die on me, are you? Please don't. It'll be my fault, and I don't want to deal with that kind of guilt. Besides, after the last time, I don't think I need to see that again. Especially because the nurse would totally say it's all my fault. Nah, I'm fine. Guess I need to start running after all. And you wanted to keep eating your greasy, whatever it was? See? It's a good thing I found you, right? Yes, it was. Maybe. Of course, I don't add that I wouldn't be in this state if she hadn't dragged me across the festival grounds. Further conversation is interrupted by the sudden appearance of Rin. Oh, it's you. Hello, Emmy. Hey, Rin. I brought Hazao along because he was going to give himself a heart attack. I was not. My objection goes unnoticed. We stopped by to see how the mural turned out. Rin nods slowly. Well, it's right there. You can see it pretty clearly. I find myself wondering how long Rin's been standing there in front of the mural. Has anyone even stopped by to look at it? Are we the first ones? Obviously, we're not the first to see it, of course. I mean, it's pretty big. It'd be hard-pressed not to see it. At the same time, I don't think anyone's actually talked to Rin about it. Anyone but us, that is. I feel compelled to say something. It looks pretty good. I'm still not happy with how it turned out, but I guess it'll do. She seems almost resigned to it. I'm not sure what she expected as a result, but I guess she didn't quite get there. We stand in front of the mural, taking it all in. I try my best to concentrate on the composition of the thing. It's actually fairly interesting. The colors swoop and blend together, dragging me along with them. There's dreamlike quality to the whole thing that makes me almost feel sleepy. I try hunting out some of the colors Emmy and I grabbed for her. Try as I might, I can't see any Prussian blue. Oh well. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Oh, we didn't see the entire thing. I'm sorry. My feet start to hurt, but Ren doesn't seem inclined to move on. Emmy speaks up. Hey Ren, have you eaten? Of course, you can't survive otherwise. What about in the past 5 hours? Maybe. But I'm hungry again. So maybe that means I'm wrong. Emmy grins and claps her hands together. Good. Come get some food with us. Rin nods in assent. Okay, but we should hurry before they notice I'm gone. Somehow I don't think they'd care. Whoever they are. As we head back to the food stalls, I cast a longing eye over the fried food. No, I'd better not. I'm pretty sure Emmy wouldn't let me anyway. Damn, bro is already pussy whipped. Okay, I'm done. Anyway. No, but seriously, like, don't eat too much fried food. It will, like, fuck up your arteries and shit like that. Anyways, we find a nice spot on the grass and sit down to eat our purchases. Well, my purchases anyway. Somehow I've wound up paying for all the food. Surprisingly, my unfried food is pretty good. Silence falls as Emmy and I eat, and Ren stares at something or other, occasionally eating a bite or two of her food. I finish my meal first and lay back on the grass. Emmy glances up from her food. Tired, Azal? A little, I guess. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. Well, don't oversleep or anything tomorrow morning. We start our morning runs, remember? Actually, that would slip my mind. I was actually just enjoying myself. Wandering around the festival with these two has actually been fun. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. You'd better be there. I'll get angry if you aren't. God forbid. I don't think God comes into it. Unless there's some kind of freak accident and your alarm clock shorts out. That might be a random act of God. Well, don't cause any random acts of God, then. A plan forms itself in my mind. It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. What? Wait, hold on. What was that? It's a plan that makes me feel kind of guilty, but I throw it into execution anyway. Damn it, I've earned a little fried food. And anyway, I'm going to start running tomorrow, right? So the actual routine all starts then, not now. Ergo, the dietary portion starts tomorrow too. Ergo, I can have something unhealthy today. A sort of final farewell to all the stuff I used to eat with wild abandon before the hospital. Actually, I suppose I should head back to my room. I had some homework to do, and if we're gonna run in the morning, I should make it an early night. Those narrowed eyes again. You sure you're not gonna sneak off and buy some of that fried stuff over there? Nah, I'm too full to bother now. I pat my stomach for emphasis. Besides, you two have cleaned me out anyway. Emmy giggles. It's a surprisingly pleasant sound. Another pang of guilt. She's got to know that I'm lying to her, doesn't she? Or is she just that trusting? I kind of feel like a monster. All part of my master plan is out. I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning then. Thanks for the food and for keeping us company. And here I thought she was doing me a favor. Rin nods in agreement. I won't say see you tomorrow, because that would be like predicting the future, and I'm pretty sure I can't do that. Okay. Bye, you two. I feel oddly glad that I decided to leave my room today. Not in a bad way to start my second week. Not a bad way to start my second week here, I suppose. Once I'm out of Emmy's line of sight, I make a beeline for the food stands and buy some cake. At least not fried, right? That's slightly better than what I was planning to do. I still feel a little bad about lying to Emmy, though. She really does seem concerned about my health. I'll make it up to her somehow. Better head back to my room. Hey, I do have work to do. My book waits for me, and I flop onto my bed and read through the fireworks display. Eventually, all the walking around, or more accurately running around, catches up with me. I really am out of shape. Emmy dragging me out in the morning to run might be a good thing after all. It's something to look forward to. Act 2. Form. In all honesty, I think I'm... Yeah, I think I'm gonna save here, actually. So, there you go. Continue. Alright, how many loads do I have? Yeah. So basically, I did get the Emmy route. And honestly, I think I think I'm good for right now. So, thank you for watching, and yep, this is Dean the Autist, signing off. Have a nice day.